Let's talk about a girl named Swati. She's incredibly talented, smart, creative, and full of potential. Yet, there were so many moments where she paralyzed by anxiety. Once, she got invited to present her project at a big event. This was something she had worked so hard for, but instead of feeling excited, she was gripped by fear. In the days leading up to it, she was so anxious that she nearly backed out. It wasn't the fear of failure exactly, but the overwhelming what-ifs that kept swirling in her head. In the end, she did go, and she crushed it. But those anxious days before the event, where she felt like the walls were closing in, made her question if life would always feel that way. This got me thinking, does anxiety really stop us from living a meaningful life? Understanding anxiety's impact. Anxiety can feel like an invisible weight, one that holds us back from experiencing the joy, fulfillment, or excitement of the present moment. We're constantly worrying about the future, replaying past mistakes, or overthinking things that are beyond our control. And when anxiety gets in the way, even the simplest things, like attending a social event or making a phone call, can feel like climbing a mountain. But here's the thing. Anxiety is not uncommon. In fact, it's something almost everyone deals with at some point. Some have it more intensely, while others only feel it occasionally. The key issue is how much it's stopping you from living life fully. How anxiety interferes with a meaningful life. Avoidance of experiences. When anxiety kicks in, we tend to avoid situations that trigger it. This might mean declining opportunities, like Swati almost did, or shying away from new experiences. Over time, this avoidance can make life feel smaller, more confined, and less rich with meaning. Living in fear of the what-ifs. We all have those what-if thoughts. What if I mess up? Or what if I say something wrong? Anxiety takes those thoughts and magnifies them. Instead of taking action, we become paralyzed by hypothetical scenarios. It's like living in a future that hasn't even happened yet, while missing out on the present. Constant self-doubt. Anxiety often comes with a dose of self-doubt. We second-guess our abilities, decisions, and even our worth. How can we find meaning in life if we're constantly questioning whether we're even deserving of it? Can you still live a meaningful life despite anxiety? The short answer is yes, absolutely. In fact, some people with anxiety live incredibly meaningful lives. The difference is that they've found ways to manage it instead of letting it control them. Acceptance is key. The first step is accepting that anxiety is a part of your life, but it doesn't have to define it. A lot of times we fight our anxious thoughts, thinking they shouldn't exist. But that resistance only makes it worse. By acknowledging that anxiety will show up from time to time, we can learn to coexist with it instead of running from it. Mindfulness and staying present. Anxiety thrives when we focus on the future or dwell on the past. Mindfulness, the practice of staying in the present moment, is one of the most effective ways to counter anxiety. When you're grounded in the now, it's easier to let go of the what-ifs and simply experience life as it is. Take small steps. You don't have to tackle your biggest fear all at once. Start with small, manageable steps. If social situations make you anxious, begin with small gatherings instead of large parties. By gradually exposing yourself to anxiety-inducing situations, you'll build confidence and resilience. Seek support. You don't have to face anxiety alone. Whether it's talking to a trusted friend, therapist, or joining a support group, sharing your experiences can be incredibly freeing. Sometimes just knowing that others are dealing with the same struggles can make the burden feel lighter. Anxiety may be a part of your life, but it doesn't have to stop you from living a meaningful one. It's true, Anxiety can sometimes feel like an unwanted guest at the party, but it doesn't have to ruin the whole event. With self-compassion, mindfulness, and a few coping strategies, you can find purpose, joy, and fulfillment, even in the midst of anxiety. Remember Swati? She now tackles her anxious moments head-on and has learned to use them as motivation to grow. Sure, the anxiety is still there, but it no longer controls her choices. And because of that, she's living a life that's not just full of success, but full of meaning too. And you can too.